Hello, this is Froogle. I wanted to do a quick video, show you a new title that I found, also give you an update on the channel. I haven't posted very much on this channel in quite a while because I've just been busy. Been busy with work, been busy with the other channel. You know how it is, so I apologize for that. There's a bunch of videos coming up. Some of them are very, very cool. In fact, they're all very cool. You should definitely subscribe and watch them all. This is Lunar Flight. It's an indie game sim. Excuse me. We actually agonized over whether this should go on the Froogle Pete channel or the Froogle Sim channel. Having put in a good number of hours on this, I pretty much decided it goes on the Froogle Sim channel. It's a simulation of the lunar lander, but kind of modernized a little bit. Let me show you this. You have a full cockpit here, which is all clickable. I'm in practice mode at the moment. And the idea of the thing is really just like any other flight sim, to fly the lunar lander. You have missions that you can do here, like carry something from A to B and so on and so on. And you get money for that, and money lets you buy upgrades. So you can buy different engines, you can buy different maps to fly on. I'm currently on the level 2 map here. That's as far as I've got. What else is there? There's all these charts here based on the engines that you've got and how much weight you're carrying. What is the liftoff power to weight that you need? And let me just show you around the cockpit here. The cockpit is fully clickable. Right here is my thrust. Now you can play this with a keyboard or you can play it with a game controller. I've been playing it with a keyboard. I just switched to a game controller and I actually prefer it. So if I hold the right trigger down here, that's my power there, which lifts me up. And I can press the left trigger and it's reverse power, it kind of pushes me down. You also have a lock there. I can lock the power at a set amount to hold straight and level if I need to, which is great. You have so many controls on this, it's ridiculous. You have the ones I just showed you, the thrust stuff. Let me go outside. So you've got thrusters, which will move the lander left, right, forwards, backwards. Obviously you've also got controls there. Controls there which will tilt it. Makes life very, very complicated. So if you wanted to, you could fly this on the main engines all the time and then just tip on over. I don't recommend it. I really don't. That's very, very hard to do. Ugh. When you land, you need to get on those landing pads. You can see at the bottom of the screen there, it shows me where my landing feet are and everything. Let's just go for a flight. You have a cockpit view, you have a HUD view. You've also got this split four-way view, which is really neat. So you can change what you're viewing. So you can view the cockpit, you can view up here, you can view the HUD, all sorts of stuff. I tend to fly in either the full screen HUD only mode, which is pretty cool. So let me just change all these cameras around a little bit. Oops, wrong one. So I'm going to bring up my map over here. That camera down here, I can have that mode, which is top down. I can have map. Nav point, so where I'm heading to, or velocity vector. That shows me where I'm going to basically impact the ground. Because you've got to bear in mind, this is on the moon, right? So you have a lot of inertia. You can be rapidly moving in one direction, but facing in a completely different direction. And then as you feed in your engines, obviously it's not as complex as flying, not as simple as flying a plane. If I'm facing to the left, but moving forwards, or facing west and heading north, put it that way, and I press forward for forward thrusters, all I'm going to be doing is adding in some westward movement to my forward northbound movement. It's very complex and really quite satisfying. Let us fly to waypoint A, Alpha, here. So I'm going to engage my, let me change this here, my liftoff power to weight is 27.5. So above 27.5 I will start going up. So I'm at 27.2 right there with my thrust lock on. Now I'm at 28. So I should start lifting. You see that? Obviously I can put a lot more power in and lift a lot faster. I don't really want to. While we're doing that, I'm going to put in some of my rotation thrusters and start spinning around. You can see at the bottom there's a pointer which will point me to the waypoint that I've selected. You see the velocity vector camera at the bottom right there is showing me that I'm going up. Now it's a little jerky right now because of how I'm recording it. Normally it runs silky smooth, 50, 60 or more frames per second. Very, very nice experience. There's a lot of sound in this. Obviously the power of the engines, there's music that you can hear. There is radio chatter as well, recorded from, sounds like from NASA flights. I've turned that off. I didn't want it to get confusing. So 20 degrees up. Now it's not so much because I'm putting it forward. thrusters. You can see from the bottom left camera there, thrusting forward. There's my velocity. That's confusing as well because you could be heading in all sorts of different directions and it's your cumulative velocity. And I have my vertical velocity right here, so I'm going up 0.23. And we're going to head over to waypoint Alpha. This little cross shows me where I will hit the ground. So where the lander is currently heading. Very cool. So as I said, life has overtaken me a little bit, which is why there haven't been many videos on the channel. I have videos coming up on the DCS P51, which is phenomenal. Also on the PMDG 737. Had a lot of requests for that from TapCheck users, which is why I've started paying attention to it. Normally I don't do airliners at all. I'm actually really getting into it. It's very cool, and I was asked by the magazine, as many of you know or may know, I write for PC Pilot. They've asked me to do a review of FS to Crew, which is voice-controlled co-pilot in the 737, which is amazing. So I hope to get some videos up of that. Also been doing some flying in X-Plane, looking at Leading Edge Simulations DC-3. Just wrote the review on that, so I will put up some videos showing how that flies, which is pretty cool. So we're going to clear this ridge here. I'm reducing my main thrust a little bit. Notice, oh, you don't see it because I'm in practice mode, but normally there's a fuel counter here. You need to be aware of that. You need to manage your engines and everything else to get from waypoint to waypoint. It is very easy to run out of fuel between waypoints, at which point you're screwed and you need to hit recover and spend some money doing so and lose some experience. Dead is dead in this as well. If you die, then that's it. You lose everything. You go back to level 1 up here with the starter money, lose your maps, lose everything. So it's kind of important to keep flying this well. Now I'm currently just under my lift-off power to rate ratio, so my vertical velocity is slowly dropping. I'm still climbing, but I'm climbing less and less as we move. Now down here, this bottom right camera, it's showing me the waypoint I've got selected and my impact point, my vertical, I don't know what do you call that, my flight path point, my flight indicator. So that's showing me that right now I would overfly the base, which is just fine. Let's actually rotate this. You see what I mean now? I'm actually heading in the right direction, but I'm facing slightly to the right. In order to land properly, I'm going to need to turn. But before we do that, I'm going to hit the ground up there, so I'm just putting a bit more thrust, main thrust. Drop this down to 27.5 again. There we go. And start turning. There we go. Now we're facing the same way that we're heading. It gets very challenging when you have a lot of cargo on board for a mission. You need a lot more thrust, so the fuel management becomes a big issue. Part of the fun of the game. I mean, other than the fact that you're flying the damn lunar lander and have to figure out how to fly a lunar lander, which is just in itself awesome. It's just such a fun thing. And it really is sim-like, which I think is why it's better placed on the Froogle Sim channel rather than the Froogle Pete one. This is actually an indie developed game developed by one person. The company is ShovSoft, and you can buy this on Steam. I think it's about $10. It might be less. Very cheap. Worth every penny. Really worth every penny. I've not found a sim experience this enjoyable in a long time. You know, outside of add-on aircraft and FSX or Prepared 3D or something like that. Alright, so we're heading quite fast, 2.35. There is the base. We need to figure out where the landing pad is. In fact, I know where it is. It's in front of that antenna. So I'm just gonna, whoops, gonna head slightly left, turn slightly left. We're still climbing, which is okay. There we go. Let's reduce power now. Down to 22. My lift-off power to weight is 27.5, so I'm less power than I need to climb, but not zero power that would make me cause me to drop like a rock and get damage. Okay, so we need to start slowing down now. So reverse thrust. Gonna bring this down to about 1. And looking at the cross on the screen there, that's dropping. There we go. And on a little camera lower right, I'm trying to see that I am actually heading to the launch pad, landing pad. I'm gonna turn around because we need to get these feet positioned exactly in the mode that I'm in. You can turn that off, so you don't have to be exactly positioned, but I like the challenge. I need to position the feet exactly on the circles on the launch pad in order to refuel. Some of the missions in this are cool. You have the cargo stuff. You have lost cargo, where the idea is to fly around the planet and fly around the moon and find lost cargo and pick it up, which is very interesting because you don't know where it is, so managing fuel is a huge challenge. You have scanning missions where you need to find some anomaly and scan it, which again is very much similar to the lost cargo thing. Here we go, slow down a bit more. I am dropping quite a bit, so just increase my main thrust there. You see all the dust coming up off the ground? Alright, drop my main thrust because I'm starting to climb. Oh, I'm not going to do this too well. It's always horrible when you're trying to make a video and everything goes horribly wrong. Alright, so I'm looking at my top-down camera right now, trying to see. Oh, I think I'm too low. I think I'm going to catch my feet. So you see that bottom radar view, if you like, has changed to show me the position of my feet on the lander now relative to the launch pad. So I need to be going forwards. My power is quite low, which is great. A bit more power would be good. Nice, very gentle descent. Let's try and rotate. See if we can position those feet properly. Bit more power. Just to slow that descent. Stop the turning. There we go. Just. Only just. Oh, no. I took off again. Problem. And I'm starting to rotate actually. Oh, we just screwed up completely. Okay, so I'm on the pad. I'm not anywhere near the right position. So I'm just going to increase to about 27.28 just to get a little bit of lift. There we go. And I'm going to gently ease forward, reducing my power now. So I stop climbing. Get some turn in there, some rotation, a little bit more power. That's enough power. There we are. Stop rotating. Stop rotating. Go forwards. That's perfect now. Look at that. That's how you land a lander. Turn off my throttle lock, and that cuts power. If we go outside, you can see there I am on the pad. Very, very, very cool. So once again, this is Lunar Flight from ShovSoft. Well worth checking out if you're into simulations. Love this. So much challenge in this with all the missions and the things you can unlock, like the extra add-ons for the lander to make it more powerful and fuel efficient, as well as the maps that you can unlock. Great, great, great sim-like experience. Very, very cool. Once again, sorry for the lack of videos on the channel. There will be more coming. It's just sometimes life overtakes me, as I'm sure you can appreciate. In the meantime, please check this out, and hopefully we can get some videos up later this week for you to look at. Once again, my name is Froogle. Thank you so much for watching.